This box will contain all the parts for your table. It's going to come with these nylon straps. You can use a pair of scissors or box cutter to open the straps. Once the box is open, you'll find the following parts. These are the lower leg assemblies, both left and right. This is the upper leg assembly, both left and right. This is the bracket that's going to connect the left leg with the right leg. This bracket will connect the lower part of the left leg and the right leg and also hold your foot pedal. This is your foot pedal. This is the motor drive belt. Inside your parts bag, you'll find the following accessories. Your parts drawer, the parts drawer rails, the 6 screws that are going to connect your rails to the bottom of the table. You'll find 4 table feet with the lock nut attached, and an assortment of bolts and nuts with washers. These are your foot pedal brackets. This is the foot pedal motor attachment bracket. These are the table leg brackets to assemble the upper and lower table together. The 2 little square ones are to hold your lower bracket to the bottom of the table, which holds the foot pedal. This is your connecting rod bracket. It's going to connect the foot pedal to your motor. The coarse threaded screws will be used to attach the stand to the wood table. The other 2 nuts and bolts are to attach your foot pedal to the foot pedal rail. Make sure you have all the parts before you start assembling your table. And finally, this is your table. We'll start by putting the feet onto the lower leg assembly. Use your fingertip as a guide. You're going to screw the leg in until it touches the tip of your finger. Then you're going to take the lock nut and secure it to the bottom of the table. Finally, you'll use a 19mm open-ended wrench to tighten the lock nut down securely. Make sure you hold the foot so that it doesn't keep spinning. Repeat this step for the other feet. Maintaining the orientation of the long and short side, you're going to slide the upper leg assembly into the lower leg assembly. Then you're going to use your bracket. Make sure that the curves match. You're going to hold it with one hand while you insert the bolts in with the other. Don't tighten it at this time. Keep it nice and finger tight so that you can make adjustments. Using a tape measure from the bottom of the foot to the top of the table, measure to approximately 29 inches. This is an average height. If you're taller or shorter, you can make adjustments accordingly. Just make sure that both legs are the same height. Once you have the right height, you can tighten it down with the 14mm socket or an open-ended wrench. And there you have it. Now just repeat the process for the other leg. If you're working by yourself, you can take the legs and place them backwards with the long side down. It's going to expose those 2 screw holes on each leg on the back side. Make sure that the openings of the legs are facing each other. Align the holes with the rear bracket and use 4 bolts to tighten it all down. You can do this with the legs standing, or you can lay them down, whichever is easiest for you, but either way you can do it. Now take the table legs and the rear bracket that you've just assembled and place them upside down. You'll need to take the lower leg assembly bracket and place it face down onto the tables. You'll take this washer that's threaded, insert it in, and again, you'll use your index finger to hold it in place while you take the bolt and secure it down. Again, don't tighten it all the way just yet. Do this for the other side as well. Once both legs are secured, you're going to use a tape measure, and from the outermost part of the bracket, you'll make sure that it's approximately 3 inches away from the edge of the table. Once you have that, you can go ahead and tighten it down. Now that the table is secured, we'll insert the foot pedal brackets. These brackets will be facing each other.
The foot pedal has 6 slots where the brackets can be inserted into. The placement will depend on where it is most comfortable for you. The most common placement is in the second slot from the left and the second slot from the right. You can easily make adjustments once you build your machine. Install the first bracket, but don't tighten it all the way. Then grab your foot pedal and slide it onto the bracket. Attach the second bracket and slide the other side of the pedal. Once you have the 2 brackets in the foot pedal holes, go ahead and tighten them down using your Phillips screwdriver and your wrench.
The foot pedal should swing freely. The holes on the foot pedal should be facing away from you. Now you can take your foot pedal connecting rod bracket and put it on the center 2 holes facing the left side.
For now, you can just screw the bolt onto the nut by hand.
Depending on where you put the pedal will determine where you put this bracket. But for now, if you're assembling it like we are on this video, you can always just follow along. If you find that this position isn't suitable for you, you can always move the pedal either to the right or to the left and make the adjustments that you need. Once the bracket is centered, you can go ahead and tighten it down. Make sure not to over tighten the bolts. This completes the lower table assembly. Yours should look just like this.
Place the rails on the drawer and set it down on the table. The rails that come with your machine may vary in color.
You can leave approximately 1/4 inch of space from the front of the drawer to the edge of the table. Using one of the 6 wood screws, secure the front side of one of the rails. Once you have that side secured, you're going to use your tape measure and make sure that the rear side is also the same distance away from the edge of the table. Once you have that measurement, you can use the rest of the screws to secure the rails to the bottom of the table.
Remove the drawer from the rails and set it aside. Place your stand on top of the table. The long part of the stand should be facing the front of the table. The rear left side of the table has a tiny hole where your thread stand is going to go. Make sure you don't block that with the stand. In order to assure this, measure approximately 3.5 inches from the edge of the table and 3 inches from the back of the table. Once you have those measurements down, go ahead and secure the back part of the stand. The stand should be approximately 1 inch away from the hole to allow the nut to screw into place. Using your tape measure, you're going to measure the same distance that you secured the table leg with on the back side and transfer those measurements to the front. So here I'm going to measure 3 inches. If you need to, you can tap it in a little bit. And then once you have the right size, you can then screw it into place. Moving to the back right side of the table, we're gonna secure that one first, right where it lays. Make sure it's 3 inches away from the back edge of the table. Use your tape measure and measure the same distance from the back side and transfer those measurements to the front. Once the leg is secured with the final screw, you can put the drawer back in.